Today, I'm finally gonna make my last 2024 map prediction. Now, this map might be very blue because of the new Iowa poll. The new Iowa poll is just insane. If you look right here, Celsius Co. is A++. It's the best poster ever by very far. Shows Harris winning in Iowa by 3 points with third-party candidates. That's just insane. And this is gonna affect other states too, especially the Rust Belt. So with that in mind, we're gonna make our new 2024 map. Now, I'm not gonna go too much with polls, just because the polling averages are getting flooded by Republican polls. So I don't really use that many polls anymore, except for A+ polls like Marist, New York Times, Santa College, Suzuko, Tip Insights. Only these polls are gonna be the real polls that I'm gonna look at. Oh yeah, also 1 day until the election. So yeah, let's get started. First, we're gonna start with our safe Democratic states. Now, previously, the safe Democratic states that I putted before the Sulzer poll was these ones. But with the new Sulzer poll, we gotta add some new states like Oregon, Colorado, and surprisingly, Nebraska second and Maine at large all enter this solid category. Now for the Republicans in the solid category, where we're not going to really look at them that much in this election. Now previously, these used to be my safe Republican states. But now we got to take away a couple of states because of the Iowa poll. This includes Kansas, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska first, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Indiana. These are now going to be the solid states for the Republican Party. Democrats start off with 194 electoral votes, while the Republicans just at 75. Now we got our likely states, which are states that go from 5 to 14 points. In that range, it's going to go for that party, but it's going to be a little bit more competitive. Like New Mexico. New Mexico is almost solid in my forecast. It's about 12.8 points, I think, in my forecast at the moment. I'm also putting Minnesota as likely blue, which is because first it's in the Rust Belt, and second because of Tim Walz, which is the vice presidential pick for Harris. We're also going to throw in Virginia in there, and New Hampshire too. New Hampshire I'm actually putting as a 12-point margin for Harris, which is pretty impressive. And these states are like normally the likely states that everyone will put in, but I'm gonna put in a new state, which many people will disagree with me, and I know that, which is Michigan. Michigan is a swing state battleground, quote unquote, but because of this Iowa poll, the Iowa poll just affects the Rust Belt so much, and Michigan is just the swing state, quote unquote, that is the most liberal one by far. So I gotta put Michigan in the likely category for now. I'm currently putting it about a 5.51 for Harris there. Not too crazy. Then, that's about it for the likely states for Harris. And now for the likely states for Trump, it will basically be all of the solid states that we took away, like Missouri, Kansas, Mississippi, Nebraska first, Montana, Indiana, and South Carolina, and Alaska barely hang on to that likely status with only about a 6 to 5 point margin. Then we got the battleground states. These are going to be the lean and tilt states. It feels very wrong putting Texas, Florida, and Ohio and Iowa as battleground swing states, but that's how far the Iowa poll just affects the selection. Like, if in 2020 the Iowa poll went to Donald Trump by 7 points, and Biden won the election by more than 300 electoral votes, and Trump won it by 7 in the Iowa poll. If Harris wins it by 3, Harris has no problem winning Texas. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think she has the force to do that. To be honest, this Iowa poll, I think it will be a little bit. I think it will be a little bit wrong. I think it will be wrong by like 3 points, I would say. But that would still be very impressive. So yeah, actually, yeah, 2 points. Yeah, that would be more accurate because it never went off by more than 5 points. Anyways, so now let's get to the lean category for Harris. Now, the lean category for Harris, the first one, I'm going to put Pennsylvania in the lean category. Originally, I was actually going to put it as likely, but rethinking, I just noticed I think I got a little too excited with the Southern poll, and I just got carried away. Pennsylvania, I'm currently putting as a win for Harris by about 4.1. And Wisconsin, I would put it about a 3.8 now. Nevada, I will put around the same margin as Pennsylvania, to be honest. And then we got these states that might be very shocking. Surprisingly, I'm putting Georgia as a lean Democratic state. I said that we were going to discard polls, and most of them, yes. But, like, most of the good polls, like Tip Insights, Martist, New York Times, do actually put many of them with Harris winning in Georgia. And the Iowa poll also affects Georgia, of course. And even last prediction, I was putting Georgia as going tilt Democrat. And I was actually thinking of putting it as likely, but yet again, I got too carried away. I'm now putting Georgia as about a 3.2 point for Harris. And then I'm gonna throw in North Carolina right now. Same thing with like polls. If you see like the latest polls for North Carolina, like New York Times put it Harris winning there by 4 to 2 points. And New York Times is A+, by the way, and that was crazy. And New York Times is one of the only polls that I'm okay with addressing. Same thing with Martist College. I don't know if Martist, but I think Tip Insights put it as tied. So yeah, North Carolina, and also the Iowa poll, of course, affects there too. So yeah, North Carolina currently I will put it about a 2.5 win for hers. Then we got Arizona, which I'm gonna put it as about I think about the same margin, like 2.4, just because Arizona, yet again, the polls, Trump is going insanely well in the polls, but I think these polls are kind of underestimating Harris in this case, so I'm putting Arizona as currently as a lean blue state, just because of also Arizona is shifting to the left, if you don't know. If we go check on the Senate 2022 past elections, Kelly won Arizona by 5 points. 5 whole freaking points. Let me see what the polls were saying in Arizona for the Senate. Let's see. Arizona, where's the Senate? U.S. No, not U.S. House. U.S. Senate 2022, 1.5. They underestimated Kelly. And then if we look at Pennsylvania, by the way, also, 4.9, 5 points for Fetterman. And if we go Pennsylvania, this was very shocking, by the way. Like, Oz was winning in Pennsylvania by 0.5. They underestimated Fetterman by a whole 5 points. That's insane. Sure, 2020, 2016, they underestimated Trump, but I think polls are going to be way more accurate this cycle. So that's why I'm currently putting as lean state. And also, in the 2020 election, South Dakota was just completely right. So, yeah. And I don't really address the other polls, which underestimated Trump by a lot. Which is another reason why I'm not putting these polls. They underestimate Trump and overestimate Trump a lot of times. And it's stupid. So, I'm only using the A plus or A polls in this, except for Alice and Tell. I don't know how that's an A poll. Anyways, Arizona is lean blue. I actually last prediction before the South Dakota. I actually put it as tilt blue as the tightest state in the election, which was a very hot take. But because of this Iowa poll, to be honest, it's not even a hot take anymore. Now let's move on to Ohio. Ohio is pretty interesting because I think that Ohio is gonna be redder than Iowa. I think Iowa, because of this new poll, is gonna be bluer than Ohio for the first time in long ago. So this is mostly again because of the Southern poll. The Southern poll literally is. Iowa and Ohio have a history of like voting together in almost every election. And let's go see Ohio polling real quick. Of course, I'm not too biased with this. Wait, let me just check something real quick. Yeah, they underestimated Ryan also in 2022 by 0.1. That's not too much though. But anyways, let's go to the presidential general election. And as you can see right here, not too long ago, there was this poll by the Miami University, which I don't know if it's good or not, but it showed Trump ahead by 3 points. Trafalgar, which is like C minus, I think, only put Trump winning there by 6 points, and it's a Republican partisan poll. That means that Ohio can very well be less than 5 points. And not that long ago, a New York Times poll only put Trump winning in Ohio by 3 points. That's not that much. And, of course, the Southern Dakota, I already said that a million times. Ohio is going lean red by, I think, I would say 3 points. 3.4. Then we got Florida. Florida is interesting because it's shifting to the right very quickly. I think it is going to shift to the right, especially because of the Senate race. Rubio won Florida by 16 points, and the governor race was very, very shocking. If you see the governor race, last time Florida voted in the governor race, DeSantis won it by 19 points. That's like crazy. So I do think Florida, last election, I'm pretty sure it went 3.4 points. And I think it will shift to the right just a little bit because I'm currently putting it as a 3.7 win for Trump. So, like, 0.3 shift to the right. Not that much, but it is going to shift to the right a lot. Especially because of Hurricane Milton. Harris didn't have a too strong response to that. Then we got Maine 2nd District, which is a state that we don't really... It's a district that we don't really talk that much about in politics anymore. We used to, but not anymore that much. Now, it is actually getting interesting nowadays. And it started getting a lot of attention ever since August because of this new poll that showed Harris winning in Maine 2nd by 5 points. That's a likely margin. Of course, not that long after, there was a new poll showing Pan Atlantic Research, Trump winning by 7 points, which was a more expected poll. But then, of course, we got this new poll from a Republican-sponsored journal, which put Trump winning by 9 points, which was also concerning because normally Republican-sponsored polls show like. Wait, am I in May 2nd? What happened? Where? Oh, right here. Showed Trump only winning by 2 points in a Republican-sponsored poll. That was very worrying for the Trump campaign because, and this was in October, by the way. Because, like, if a Republican-sponsored poll, it's supposed to make Trump look well. And if it only shows Trump winning by 2 points, it can very well be off by, like, 3. But next time, in September and through October, they released another more reasonable poll showing by 9 points. Same thing with the other one. And then we started kind of not looking more at May 2nd. But then another poll from Survey USA shows Trump only winning by 5. And then this new one from the University of New Hampshire only shows Trump winning by 4. And now we got the Sulzer poll, which of course affects it. So now I'm gonna put Maine 2nd District as lean Republican. And now we got Texas and Iowa. Now, Texas, as of the moment, I was actually for a brief moment of time putting it as tilt red, which was very insane. But nowadays, I'm putting it as I got carried away. I got way too carried away. Now I'm putting it as about a 3-point win for Trump, and I think that's reasonable enough because of the Sulzer poll. And finally, we got Iowa, which in my opinion will be the most competitive state in this election. But as of the moment, I'm currently putting Iowa as a 1.9 win for Donald Trump, which would give Harris the win of the Electoral College by 319. And I'm also putting Harris winning the popular vote by around 5 points. So here it is, my last prediction map. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try to make a live on election day. I don't know if I'll be able to. If I'm not, I'll just do like videos in the middle of the election if it takes too long. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.